All right. Let's get us some people in here. So we can talk about how what planets are going to be retrograde, when they're going to be retrograde, and how they're going to affect us. So we're going to be talking about planet retrogrades and how they affect us today. And I'll explain to you what it means for a planet to be considered retrograde. Hey, Alicia. Hey, little Earl. Hey, Lainey. Waiting for some people to get in here and start chatting. How are you guys doing, Elisa? Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. How's everybody doing out there? Okay. I wonder where he gets that habit from. No comment. I miss those days. Waiting for some people to come in so we can talk about what is a planet retrograde. Hey, September and Sun. We're going to be talking about planet retrogrades and how they affect us. Oh, yeah, I miss those days. Believe me, I truly miss those days. Those were some good days. Yes, indeed. Well, you know, Alyssa, crap happens. Hey, Harper. Alyssa, you know, things change, chapters in our lives change. And that's pretty much what happened. So we're gonna talk about what retrogrades are, what they mean, Mr. Hart, can you put this link in the chat for me, please? Can you put a link in the chat for me? I'll have to spell it for you.
A link?
Yeah. Because I'm going to be talking about this link. It's a website. It's not a YouTube channel. ASTROSTYLE.com. Astrostyle.com.
Astrostyle what?
com. Hey, Joshua. Welcome. Welcome, guys. I'm going to be talking about what is a retrograde first. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So if more people show up, they'll have to rewind. Because I'm going to explain to you how this is affecting what's going on YouTube. At least part of it. We'll explain that. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about what is a retrograde. And Mr. Hart just put the link in to the website where I got my information from because, like I said, I'm not an astrologer. As much as I'd like to be able to do astrology, that takes years to learn. Hi, Jersey Cat. Hey, Heather. Welcome, guys. So we're going to explain a little bit about what is a retrograde. And a planet could be retrograde. It means that from our vantage point from Earth, it appears that a planet is spinning backwards. And it could be any planet. But what's really happening? Earth is completing its orbit around the sun faster than other planets outside its orbit. Sometimes it will outpace them, and that's when retrograde mayhem breaks loose. And the example that this website gives is much like a speeding car or a train passing a slower one. The planet that's being passed will appear to stop and move backwards, which is the apparent retrograde period. Once Earth completely passes this planet in its orbit, the motion appears normal again, and the planet is said to be direct. So, that's what retrograde means. It's saying that because Earth is moving faster than some of the planets, they appear to be going in reverse at different points in time. Now, as far as this year, 2022, all of the planets have a retrograde phase. That doesn't happen every year. Venus turns retrograde every 18 months, and Mars every 2 years. But in 2022, they'll both make U-turns and backtrack through the zodiac. In other words, this year wants us to take plenty of time to look before we leap into anything major. Given the state of uncertainty in this year of the new abnormal, the retrogrades can be a blessing in disguise if we use them to our advantage. So now we're going to talk about each planet. And the first one we're going to start with is the most obvious one because it was the most recent one to go into retrograde. Hey, Robin, welcome. Missed seeing you. Glad to see you here. I forgot to hit the thumbs up on my own video, on my own live. Okay. All right, we're going to start with the most obvious planet because it's currently in retrograde. Well, no, I think I'll leave that one for last. Let's start with Venus. Venus was in retrograde. It went direct on January the 8th of this year, 2022. And Venus goes retrograde every 18 months. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and luxury. It's also the ruling planet of Taurus, the astrology signs Taurus and Libra. So Venus will not be going retrograde now. It ended, the last retrograde ended on January the 8th of this year. So 18 months from then, it will go retrograde again. The next planet we're going to talk about is Mars. Mars readies us to fight for what we hold dear. The astrology sign that it rules over is Aries. It will go retrograde this year on October the 30th, right around Halloween. And it will come, the last day of retrograde will be January the 12th, 2023. It will be retrograde in Gemini, in the sign of Gemini. And Mars is, so we need to be careful when it goes retrograde because that's when we could have fighting for what we hold dear, that not everybody is going to see eye to eye on that. Keep that in mind. The next planet we're going to talk about is Jupiter. Jupiter is the ruler of the astrology sign Sagittarius. Jeez. Jupiter rules the sign of Sagittarius. Jupiter is the fastest spinning in the solar system. Its job is to push us out of our comfort zone. So expect to be pushed to do things that you wouldn't normally do. Jupiter will go retrograde on July the 28th. And the last day of that retrograde is November the 23rd. It will start out in retrograde in the sign of Aries, and it will end in the sign of Pisces. It's possible, Robin. It is possible. And I would say probably more probable for people that might be an Aries, which is the ruling planet of Aries, but it could also be for people under the sign of Gemini because it will be retrograde in the sign of Gemini. Hi, Pamela. The next planet we're going to talk about is Saturn. Saturn is the planet of karma. The astrology sign that it rules over is Capricorn. Saturn will be going retrograde beginning June 4th. Let's see. The day after Mercury retrograde ends. So Saturn will be going retrograde on June 4th, and it will be coming out of the last day of Saturn retrograde is October 23rd. It will be retrograde in the astrology sign of Aquarius. Hi, Jackie H. Welcome. The next planet is Uranus. Uranus takes 84 years to cycle through the zodiac signs. It's considered what they call a generational planet, shaping mindsets on entire age groups. Technology can be a source of trouble during a Uranus retrograde. It will be retrograde effective August 24th of 2022, and the last day of Uranus retrograde will be January 23rd, 2023. It will be retrograde in the planet of Taurus. The next planet we're going to talk about is Neptune. Neptune is the ruling planet for the astrology sign of Pisces. It takes it 165 years to circle the sun, spending approximately 15 years in each zodiac sign. And ironically, it starts retrograde on June 28th through December the 3rd in its astrology sign of Pisces. The next planet is Pluto. The astrology sign it rules over is Scorpio. Pluto, unable to see our role in a crisis. Unable to see our role in a crisis. We are currently in Pluto retrograde. We've been in it since April 29th. The last day of Pluto retrograde will be October the 8th. Now, as far as astrology signs are concerned, Cancer is ruled by the moon. Leo is ruled by the sun. So let me go back to the most recent retrograde that we are in. We're already in Pluto. We are already in Pluto. And as I said, it can cause you to be unable to see your role in a crisis. Now we're going to talk about Mercury retrograde. Mercury rules over the astrology signs of Gemini and Virgo. Ruler of information, communication, and our intellectual processes. Each year, Mercury goes retrograde 3 times. It's already been retrograde once this year. It's currently in retrograde. It started on May 10th, ends on June 3rd. And it is in retrograde in the sign of Gemini, ending in the sign of Taurus. Mercury will go retrograde again on September the 9th through October the 2nd. It will start out in retrograde in the sign of Libra and will end in the sign of Virgo. Now, technically, it will go retrograde on December the 29th of this year. And that one will, the last day of that one will be January the 20th, 2023. And it will be in the sign of Capricorn. So, Mercury retrograde explains a lot right now. It explains a lot about between Mercury retrograde and Pluto retrograde. Explains a lot right now as to what's going on social media. It explains a lot. Hi, Vexing Vixen. You're a Virgo. You should be you should have gifts. Virgo, people that are under the sign of Virgo are the ones that are most gifted. When I say gifted, I'm referring to the psychic medium type abilities. You're a Leo. I'm a Leo rising. I don't know what all the signs mean. I don't know what all their attributes are. I just know some. I only know a few from watching somebody that is an astrologer. You're welcome, Vexing Vixen. But I know Capricorn, people under the sign of Capricorn are workers. They're hard workers. They don't want to stop. If they complete something, they feel the need, they have to find something new to do. They just don't stop working. It's not in their nature. But at this point in time, I feel that what we're seeing, you're a Cancer, I'm not sure, I don't know the attributes of Cancer. I know Capricorn and I know Virgo and I know Sagittarius. Sagittarians like to travel. They're more of a traveling type person. Those are basically the three that I know. I'm sorry, I don't know them all. That doesn't surprise me, Vexing Vixen. That does not surprise me one bit. You're in tune to each other. But what I feel I'm seeing right now when it comes to social media is the Pluto retrograde is in play and Mercury retrograde is screaming big time on social media. Heather, for me, Leo rising, is a little bit about my appearance. I don't know. I can't explain everything. What do you want, Mr.? Oh, Lord, we got trouble here. Mr. Hart's over here. Look out. Hey, SoCal Mama.
I just want to spend a moment with my wife. Is that a problem?
That usually means trouble.
Well, it's not like I'm going to strip naked and flash you.
Anyhow. I don't, they're saying hello to you, so get back to your device and say hello.
Yeah. I got a puppy's got to go potty.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, there's an option here. I can either take the puppy out to go potty.
Okay, let him go potty. I don't know all the attributes of all the signs. I just know those three. Mainly because my sun sign is Capricorn. My moon sign is Virgo, which I have a child that was born under that sign. And I've listened a lot to my favorite astrologer on YouTube. Oh, Lord. Here, let me do this. Let me find it. Let me find it. Oh, don't do that to me. No. Hang on, guys. I'm trying to do something. And my iPad isn't cooperating with me. There we go. All right. I'm trying to copy a link here. Now I got to get back to myself. All right. Here we go. Paste. Okay. I just dropped a link for my favorite psychic medium astrologer, Sloan Bella. And yes, she has done a reading on summer. For any of you that are interested, she has done a reading on summer. That's awesome, Robin. That's awesome. Just be careful with it, though. But that's awesome. Sloan has, for anybody that's interested, Sloan has done a reading, and it's not a tarot reading. It is not a tarot reading. Sloan doesn't do tarot readings. Yes, take baby steps, Robin. Small steps. So if anybody's interested in hearing what Sloan Bella has to say, she has done a video on summer. I don't know. She's done a lot of videos on many people. The majority of them are celebrities that have crossed over. There is a subscriber out here. I'm not going to put her name out. She has done a reading for her. Yes, she is, Sifter. She most certainly is. She is. I love watching Sloan. She's a Leo. She's a true Leo. Believe she's. I do believe, if memory serves me correct, she's Sun, Moon, Rising Leo. But I'm not positive on that. I think that's what she said, but I could be wrong on that part. But I do know her sun sign is Leo. She does have a website. It's her name. No, she does not, Vexing Vixen. You are absolutely correct. Sloan is not Willy Wonka. She does not sugarcoat anything. And she opens her books when she feels like it. And you can go to her website. It's the same thing. It's her name, Sloan Bella. Let me see here. There we go. It's sloanbella.com. And she only opens up her books not very often. Let's go see what we got here. I'm looking to see. She has. I'm trying to find her website. Of course, I'm on my phone, and that's no help. All right. Let's go see what her calendar looks like. If it'll let me. She does have another person. Her name is Deanna. And she also does readings. I'm not going to. I recommend you go to her site to see what she charges and her openings. Hey, Lori. Your ace. Oh, yeah. I don't no, I don't remember your reading. Let's see. So, Cow Mama, if you want to find out when your birth chart, go to free birth chart readings. Go to your search engine, type in free birth chart, and look up Astro Cafe. What you need to get an accurate reading is your date of birth, your exact time of birth, and your place of birth. Now, if you don't have your time of birth, you can put in that you don't have it. You just won't know what your rising sign is. It'll still be accurate, but you won't know what your rising sign is. Wow, your AC broke and you're in Florida. That's nuts. I am sorry to hear that happen to you. Holy moly. SoCal Mama, no, you need to know the city you were born in. You type in the city and then space, and then if that city is in more than one state, you have to pick the state you were born in. No, we're actually expecting a snowstorm. No, SoCal Mama. No, do not give that out online. Absolutely not. It was warm here today, but we are expecting a snowstorm. Oh, I'm glad you was able to get it fixed. Oh, I bet you were. I know what it's like in this RV in the summer months when it gets hot here. So, SoCal Mama, type in your search bar free birth chart. You can enter your information in that, yes. I just put in an initial, my first initial, my date of birth, my exact time of birth, and my city and state. Yeah, you can do it on Astro Cafe. I'm just saying it. Don't put it out on YouTube. I think I may have misunderstood you. Yeah, you can do it, SoCal Mama. I've done it. I've yes, I've done it lots of times. I even do it on sometimes I will do it on missing person cases. And what I mean by that is I will put in the date the person went missing, the time as close to the time as I can get, and the place where they went missing. Because that could hold clues. Like I said, I'm not good at reading birth charts at all. I'm not good at astrology. Never professed to be. But I do like to read on it and research it. And I try to keep up with the retrogrades. Yeah. It's Astro Cafe. I think it's Astro Cafe is what it comes up as. Let me look. I'll do it on my phone. Yeah, I guess they changed the name of it. It's Cafe Astrology. That's the one I'm talking about, yes. They changed their name. It is now cafeastrology.com. Can you put that link in there? Can you type that link in?
Yeah, I put it in there.
cafeastrology.com.
One of these days you'll learn how to do that on your own.
Yeah, that's the correct one, SoCal Mama. That is the correct one. It will give you all the information you need. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not like you're getting a reading from Sloan Bella, but it's a free reading because, trust me, Sloan Bella's readings, well, if I could afford to get one, I would, but I haven't. So not that it's that important to me because I can just use the one from Astro Cafe or Cafe Astrology. He did it, SoCal Mama. I knew he would. He was just joking with me. You know how he's got a joke. I mean, heck, he was talking about his exorcisms yesterday and was making jokes. I mean, what can I say? So getting back to the retrograde planets, like I said, we've got Pluto, which has been in retrograde, where people are unable to see the role that they play in a crisis. They just can't see it. Some people are like that. And it didn't give me what sign that this retrograde is in either. Although Pluto is the ruling planet of the astrology sign Scorpio. And the other thing, like I said, is Mercury retrograde that's wreaking havoc all over social media. But nobody wants to listen to me. That's okay. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I'm not saying anything negative about anybody. Because I know how bad Mercury retrograde is. We all need to stop and think about what we say. And this will probably be about the third or fourth time I've said this. Once you ring that bell and you say something and it comes out of your mouth, whoever you say it to is not going to forget it. In time, they may forgive you for it, but I promise you, they won't forget it. Yes, Lori, that is exactly what's going on. That is exactly what's going on. The best thing that people could do is be kind to each other. It's not that difficult. Oh, maybe it is for some. But I would rather remain quiet, because I know once I ring a bell, it cannot be unrung. I also know that Mercury retrograde affects what we say and how we say it. And then you have a shadow period after and a shadow period before each retrograde. No matter what planet it is, there's always a shadow, and it's like approximately a week before to a week after, where you need to be careful. Now, I know there's people out there that can't let things go. Which is why during Mercury retrograde, you need to choose your words wisely. But yeah, that's why we're seeing a lot of this. I don't even know what to call it on social media, because it happens on all platforms. It's not limited to this one. It can be through other social media platforms, this miscommunication, or it could be even through text messages or phone calls. So we need to be kind to each other. I agree, Joshua. I totally agree. I completely agree with you. Yes, they would. They would. But right now is a difficult time for them because of Mercury retrograde and also Pluto retrograde. The two of them combined. It's it's just too much negativity out there right now. And I know some people seem to think that it's going to calm down. I don't see that happening. Not during Mercury retrograde. Not until it ends and we get through that shadow period. Hey, love of Scorpio. I agree, Sifta. I totally agree. And you are absolutely right, love of Scorpio. Keep your head down, stay productive, protect yourself, protect your peace, and love everyone. And we all, right now, especially during Pluto and Mercury retrograde, especially Mercury retrograde, is to stop and think before we speak. Think about what you're about to say. Is it something that do you really want to ring that bell? Because once you ring that bell, you cannot unring it. And I'll give you a perfect example of that. When I say once you ring that bell, you cannot unring it, I will give you the perfect example of that. A young female is pregnant, loyal to a fault to her boyfriend, husband, whichever the case may be. They get into a big fight, a huge argument. And she gets so angry with him that she speaks the unspeakable, something she should never say. You're not the father, anyways. Even though he really is, because she is. Hang on, guys, I got a spider. Sorry about that, but I do not do spiders. He was just a baby, but still. So, she has now planted a seed in his mind that he might not be the father of that child. She rang that bell. And no matter what she says, she cannot undo what she said. The only way that can be undone is to go to paternity court. So, my advice during this Mercury retrograde is think before you speak. Yes, words are very powerful. Words are very powerful. You're exactly right, love of Scorpio. They are. People don't understand that. People don't stop and think before they speak. And it's blatantly obvious. That's why on my channel, I say we don't bash any creators. None. We don't bash any creators. I don't allow drama. So no fighting in chat. No disagreements. No bashing each other. No drama. And then my third rule, of course, is don't announce when somebody else goes live because I really don't care. If I'm subscribed to them, I'll get a notification. That's true, Heather. That is true. Because some words do hurt. You are right. And some of those words, like I described in my example, you are not the father, which was not true, but was said in the heat of an argument, hurts. Oh, wow, Sifta. I know somebody that used to have a pet tarantula, and it got pretty big. Have you ever been bitten by yours, Sifta? It's not that I don't like spiders. Oh, you've never been bitten? Exactly, Joshua. Exactly. That's very true. One wrong word and you could lose a customer. That wouldn't be good. And that's why I try to keep it drama free in here, because I want quality people in here who appreciate a drama free zone where they don't have to worry about if somebody's going to attack them or not. I don't allow that. Matter of fact, anybody's welcome to come in here. I think I might have maybe 3 people blocked. We're not counting the bots. The bots don't count. But I might have a total of 3 people blocked, and that's it. And 2 of them are from months ago, and one was a recent one that was scamming people. So exactly, Joshua. Exactly. And it only takes one time, because that one person goes and tells one person, and next thing you know, it's all spread out to 10 other people or more, and it just continues to, it's the ripple effect. I just didn't want it in my equipment. It was a baby, and I didn't want it running through my equipment. I'm sorry. Normally, I wouldn't. I'd just brush it aside, but I don't, where it was located at, I couldn't just brush it. So I just enjoy coming in here. I miss seeing Jolie Lee. She's the one that wanted me to go live more often, and I don't see her in here. Julie, I'm doing what you wanted. Tomorrow, I might try to come on a little earlier, simply due to the fact that I'm going to be doing readings, the astrology readings for the month of June. So that's 12 different readings that I'll be doing. So I might, depending on how I feel, because I don't want to say I've been feeling sick, but more so tired than anything. There you go, Sifta. That works for me. How big is your spider, Sifta? I had a family member that had one. I remember when I was in high school, they brought one in. So they had a presentation and they brought one in. And oh, okay, so she's not very big. The one my family member had was about the size of a dinner plate. At least that's what I was told. I'd never seen it. And that person's no longer with us, so I couldn't ask that person if I wanted to. So, oh yeah, this retrograde. Well, I don't know if it's the retrograde that's messing with me. We'll find out. Thank you, Lori, for becoming a member and supporting my channel. Thank you so much. I gotta write your name down and add you. You won't be on tonight's. I'll give you a number now because I already did the video. That'll be coming out here in about 5 minutes or so. Lori, your number for tomorrow is 125. 125. And that will be for tomorrow. And just in time because Sunday I will be doing a members only live. Oh, I got to see what time we wrote it down. I wrote it down. Did I put it on my community tab? I think I did. Let me look. At least I hope I did. Yes, I did actually. So, Lori, our members only live is scheduled for this Sunday. It'll be at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And guys, be sure on Sunday that you go to the members tab. That's where the live will show up at. Because last time I did one for the members only, nobody could. People were having a hard time finding it. That's weird, love of Scorpio. And I don't, Wednesdays and Saturdays I have scheduled regular. Those are regular schedules I set a long time ago when I first started doing lives. I set that schedule a long time ago. Wednesday and Saturday is always 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific. Any other days, now the members' lives, I get a consensus from the members when I'm on live to see what time is suiting to them, because I know people have to get up and go to work on Monday morning. So I like to take that into consideration. So if anybody has a specific topic for the members live for Sunday, because I have yet to come up with a topic that we can talk about. And no, it won't be any creator bashing or anything like that. So I don't do that. But if anybody wants to come up with a topic, and you can message me or email me, whichever one, with a topic for what you'd like to talk about on Sunday during our members only live, that'd be great. Oh, I didn't even know about that, Lori. I haven't even heard about that. Yeah, we can talk about that. So, Lori, now you don't have to worry about signing up for a reading. You will be automatically read on Saturday. Thank you again for becoming a member. I greatly appreciate that. Hey, Canadian girl. Welcome. That's weird. You guys are not getting notifications. And I'm just. I don't want to set a schedule for the other days of the week. Like the weekdays, I'll probably keep it roughly around this time of the day. And yesterday during Mr. Hart's interview, or after his interview about exorcisms, we tested the air conditioner to see if it would. Thank you, Robin. Thank you for becoming a member. Aw, thank you. you will be automatically on the list to be read on Saturday. So I think my lives, because the person that asked me to go do more lives, I haven't seen her in chat. Will probably most likely occur roughly around this time of day. You know, like when I started earlier. So roughly 8 Eastern time, roughly. Thank you guys for becoming members and supporting my channel. I really, truly, greatly appreciate that. And Robin, since you won't be on tonight's video, I'll give you your angel number. This is for tomorrow because I put a video out. The angel numbers come out. I put them in a video and they come out at 9 p.m. Eastern. So I'll give you an angel number now. Robin, your angel number is 163. 163. And that will be for tomorrow. Aw, thank you, Robin. Thank you so much. Aw. Well, that's sweet of you to make me your first membership. I greatly appreciate that. I really do. It means a lot to me. All of my members and subscribers mean a great deal to me. I love you too, Robin. I really do. I love everybody here. All of my members and subscribers. Oh, that weather warning. It's been in the 70s all day, and now we get a hard freeze warning. Mother Nature is not communicating well. Is there any specific topics that you guys would like me to talk about? I don't know. I mean, I do the missing children and missing persons. Pamela, if you go to my channel, you should have a membership tab at the top if you scroll across. You know how, let me look at my phone. I can better explain it to you. I'm better when I'm doing it visually. Okay, so when you go to my channel, you'll see home, videos, playlists, community, membership, channels, and about. When I do the live for the members only, it will show up under that one that says membership. And that should be on your Android phone. Let me ask Mr. Hart. Is that how you see it on yours?
What?
On your phone, do you have members?
The members link's at the top of the
No,
chat.
no. Hear me out. When you go to my channel, I assume that's the same as on your tablet. So when you go scroll across the screen, when you go to my channel, do you see the member where it says membership? It says community tab.
And membership. Yeah.
Membership tab. Okay. So it should be the same.
2 months and 2 days.
Pamela, it should be the same on your Android. Canadian Girl, the last day of Mercury retrograde is June 3rd. That's the way I want it, Robin. I want to keep it that way. Because that's what it's about. I assume you mean Mercury retrograde, Canadian Girl? Mercury retrograde, the last day of it is June 3rd. Keep in mind there is what they call a shadow period. So that shadow period, which means you could still have some difficulties, but not as bad as when it is retrograde. So for roughly a week after the 3rd, so I would say starting around June the 11th, we should be in the clear of Mercury retrograde altogether. But keep in mind, it's going to go retrograde again in August, unfortunately. But we are in the Pluto retrograde as well. We've been in it since April the 29th. And it does not end. The last day of Pluto's retrograde is October the 8th. So it's going to last a little longer. And Pluto, when it's retrograde, people are unable to see their roles that they play in a crisis. They're unable to see it. Right around, you should be starting to do good on June 4th, but by June 10th or 11th, we should be all clear of Mercury retrograde. But remember, it will be retrograde again in September. I was wrong. I said August before. It will be retrograde on 9/9 of 22. Nine of 22. So when it goes retrograde again, the shadow period, so just prior, so I would say from about 9 September, I'd say about September the 3rd, you'll start to see it coming in, and then we will be full-blown Mercury retrograde on September the 9th, lasting until October the 2nd. Yep. That's part of Mercury retrograde, Lori. I agree, love of Scorpio. You are absolutely correct about that. Yes, when Mercury is in retrograde, you can have faulty equipment and faulty communication. Oh my. I hope not either, Robin. Just remember, stay calm. Think about what you're going to say before you say it. Just think about it. And think about, here's another suggestion, recommendation. Think about what you put in. Think about what you say to people in text messages. Think about it. Because once you put it out there, you can't get it back. And the flip side of that, if you are a target of somebody that's mean, or spiteful, the best thing you can do, if it's just verbal negativity, the best thing you can do is do nothing. And I know a lot of people, their instincts are, I gotta defend myself. Why? As long as you know who you are, as long as you know what you stand for, and as long as you know your truth, you have nothing to prove. As long as you know it. And speak your truth. Shadow work. Shadow work is probably the hardest thing for people to work on and to deal with. And the reason for that is because of the ugliness that comes behind it. We all have gone through something at some stage in our life that has hurt us, whether it be physical or emotional or verbal, and it may be stuck in the back of our head. We don't think about it, but it's still there. And on rare occasions, it might pop up. Or somebody might say something that might cause that memory to come back in to your awareness, your consciousness. Exactly, Joshua. Exactly. So, if you've been hurt in the past and you want to do shadow work to try to heal some of those things, if there are things that triggers specific memories, this is what I suggest, is take that memory, get out a piece of paper, something to write with, I agree, Sifta. I agree. And you and Love Sifta, you and Love of Scorpio may do it differently from the way I'm explaining it. But what I would do is take that memory that has been triggered and write it all down. Write every last bit of it down so that it goes from your brain onto that piece of paper. Now, it may take more than one page. That's fine. Take that paper and in a safe manner, burn it in a container, and then take it outside and throw it in to the air so that the wind catches the ashes of the paper and it gives that thought that you just wrote down to the universe, releasing it from your memory, releasing it and not allowing it to hurt you anymore. It may take more than one time to do that. Hey, Heidi, welcome. Heidi, I think if you listen to this live from the beginning, you'll understand some things. Maybe some things will make sense. You'll have a better understanding of where I'm coming from. But right now, we're in Mercury retrograde and Pluto retrograde. And while we're in these retrogrades, I'm doing my best, like I always do, because, I used to be known as a silent person. And then I turned and become a YouTube creator. Now, if you all were sitting in a room with me in person, I couldn't do this. I wouldn't be able to speak like this. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense to me. But especially during this Mercury retrograde, I am trying to avoid a lot of things. because I don't want to end up saying something that I may regret later. Like I said, once you ring a bell, you cannot unring it. And I'd rather not ring the bell. I'd rather maintain the calmness, because right now, what I'm seeing on social media among large creators is that. And I'm not speaking on about any particular creator, so I'm just noticing what's going on. That's all I'm saying. Matter of fact, I've been going to other channels that some I would normally wouldn't go to. And then again, I've been going and watching the big trial that's been going on. Jersey Cat, I don't know that there is enough sage because right now it's Mercury retrograde. Hey, Brenda, welcome. I don't know that there is enough sage out there for social media. And I don't think that it would do any good because it's not spirits, it's Mercury retrograde and Pluto retrograde. Hey, Delia Fitz, welcome. Oh, yeah, Joshua. Yeah. I made the mistake of going to a meeting. Aw, thank you, Monica. Let me add you to my list. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you so much. I'll give you a number. This number will be for tomorrow, an angel number. Monica, your angel number is 225. 225. That will be good for tomorrow because my angel number videos have already come out. And I don't know if you heard me say it before or earlier, there is a members live coming up this Sunday. Hi, Bling. Welcome. So, yeah, I truly believe that a lot of what we're seeing across multiple platforms, it's not just YouTube, it's other platforms as well. People just need to learn to think before they speak. Oh no. My keyboard, well, actually, I'm on a laptop, but I do have an external keyboard. It plugs in. To be quite honest, well, I believe I was saying when where was I? I was talking, we were at a meeting. And I don't want to say what kind of meeting. I'm not going to say what kind of, well, you know, there's certain topics I don't talk about: politics and religion and unions. It was a meeting and it got heated. And yes, I was recording the whole thing. Even made a comment that I might put it out on YouTube, not on this channel. No. But I won't. I will not put those recordings out. Because yes, I do have another channel that I will be starting, but I have a specific goal in mind for that channel. I still have to find a proper name for that channel. And I've got a little bit of time before I need to get it up and running. Oh, and I did learn how to go live from this itty bitty phone, which is hilarious. Yes, I had to turn to YouTube to figure it out, but I figured out how to go live from the phone. Oh, I hope you have a safe trip. Do you, Fitz? Have a safe trip. I don't know where you're going, but have a safe trip. But my other channel is going to be focused on something completely different. It will not be involving tarot cards or readings. It will be geared towards another totally different subject. But that, I've got time for that. I'm not in any rush to get it up and running. For this channel, we will continue working on missing children, missing persons. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. There is a Rogersville, Alabama, because now that you mention it, Casey White, the inmate that was that the corrections officer helped to escape, that's close to that area. That would be awesome, love of Scorpio. That would be awesome. Ah, okay. I think I believe, I don't know if it's Pluto or if it's Mercury, one of the two is also messing with our emotions. Because if you remember when I did the live, when we learned that Vicky White had crossed over, it made me emotional. And then when I'd had the interview with my special guest on the Serenity Denard case, not realizing that that interview was taking place the day before Serenity's birthday. And I was made aware of it during the interview. Once again, I became emotional. And a friend of mine showed me how many people showed up to Vicky White's funeral. I again became emotional because I really didn't think anybody would show up after what she had done. When in fact, there were 200 people in attendance at her funeral. Yes, what she did was wrong. What she did was very wrong. However, I feel bad for her mother, who is now grieving her daughter. Who was spiritually attacked? Love of Scorpio. We already had dinner. It was beef tips and potatoes. Oh, he's cooking himself some rice. Guess that was beef tips and potatoes wasn't enough for him. Now he's cooking himself some rice. Oh, you think she was spiritually attacked? Okay. No carrots this time, unfortunately. I don't mind the carrots as long as I have the taters to go with them and as long as they're soft and not crunchy. I don't do crunchy carrots. That's just not my thing. Actually, Yeah, I thought it would. I love a Scorpio. I honestly thought it was going to end worse than what it did. I'm very sad that she ended her life like that. But the outcome really could have been a lot worse. Oh, wow, Brenda. Oh, I know, Robin. Oh, I don't mind carrots as long as they're cooked properly. I'll eat them, but I have to have taters with them. See, now we're going to talk food and everybody's going to get hungry. And no, my other channel's not going to be about cooking. If Mr. Hart wants to do a cooking channel, that's on Mr. Hart. I agree. Love a Scorpio. And here's another thing I was thinking about that's been on my mind. To pull away from, to distance myself from a lot of stuff. I've been watching that trial that's been going on, which to me is such a waste of time. But I think, and this is just my opinion, in my opinion, this trial is a distraction. Yeah, I feel sorry for them. Oh, God, I would not want to be a juror in that one. That's one thing I can honestly say. I've been called for jury duty. I think twice. The first time I got turned away at the first stage. And the second time I got called in for jury duty, I made it past the first stage. And I got to the second stage, which is where they pick whoever the attorneys for both sides pick who they want, and then they get to question you. And I don't remember if it was the prosecutor or the defense. I don't remember. One of the two attorneys asked me what my job title was and what I did, what my occupation was. And when I told them what my occupation was, they let me go. Well, actually, they asked me my occupation, and then they also asked me if I believed in the harshest penalty that we have in this country. I don't want to say it because I don't know if I can say that word. Thank you, YouTube, for censoring us. You guys know which one it is. Where you could be put in a chair, or you could be given medication to unalive you. And I said, they asked me if I believed in that penalty, and I said, yes, I do. And that's when I was let go. That's when they let me go. And then I later found out that it was a trial related to a unalive for hire case. Because by the time I got to the second portion, I knew I guess I was made aware of the trial, what it was going to be about. And ultimately, even though I was not picked to sit on the jury, thank goodness, because that was back in the day before I started vaping. And I know you can't even do those in the courthouse, but that's beside the point. And that person I was called in to be a juror for ended up getting the harshest sentence he could get. He was found guilty and was awarded the harshest sentence he could get. And that happened in the state of Florida. Oh, wow, Lori. Yeah, there you go, Joshua. That's a good term for that chair. Yep, that's the name of it. That was its name. I don't know if they still use that or not. But I firmly believe that this trial that's going on right now, that is truly a circus and a joke, is a distraction. I mean, look at how many people are streaming it on YouTube, keeping others distracted with it. What are we being distracted from? What's going on in this country that we're being distracted from? Because I solely believe we're being distracted from something. Anytime you have a big event like this trial, for instance, which is, come on now, these two people are actors. I mean, seriously, are they that important? Well, they are important enough that their trial is distracting everybody in this country from something. And that's my opinion. Right, they're trying, and I can't say that they're succeeding. And then we have all these other things that are taking place, mass occurrences across the country. We're seeing other mass occurrences, and you know what I'm saying. I don't want to say the word. We all know how YouTube is. Pew pew. There you go. There's been massive pew pews happening across the country. Buffalo, New York, I believe at a grocery store. I believe Milwaukee had a massive pew pew. And I don't know, I think I heard there might have been others as well. Oh, there was that a third one, Joshua, that I didn't hear about? Yeah, Brenda. And all of that. And we have missing children and missing adults. Oh, that church was in California? Oh, okay. I don't keep up with the news that much. It's just that when people talk about it in chats, it comes across in some people's chats and I see it. That's where I hear it from because I don't watch the news. I don't own a television. I haven't had a television since 2015. I've not had a television since 2015. Oh yeah, the baby formula shortage. And I heard, and I can't remember where I heard that, there's going to be a diesel fuel shortage here soon coming up. So now's not the time to buy a diesel vehicle. Yeah, I can't remember. I heard about the diesel fuel shortage somewhere as well. Oh, yeah, I agree, Joshua. You're absolutely right. And then, not to mention the fact that if there's a shortage of diesel fuel, what's going to happen after that? It's going to be a ripple effect. If trucks can't move, if tractor trailers can't move because there's no fuel, what's next? I agree, love of Scorpio. I totally agree. Yes, a food shortage. So, might be time to start learning how to grow your own food. Although I did make an attempt at that. Problem was the weeds took over and I didn't water it enough. I'm out of practice because there was a time many moons ago when I could grow a garden, but not here where I'm currently living at. It was in my home state. So different soil, different atmosphere. And I'm a lot older and it's a little more difficult to get out there and to keep a garden weeded and watered. Exactly, Joshua. Exactly. Oh, did they love a Scorpio? I didn't know that. Oh, I'm going to have to check that out. When the weather starts warming up, I'd like to get at least one, maybe two tomato plants, because there's one thing I'm missing in my diet: my fried green tomatoes. Oh, I'll have to look that up. I'll have to check next time I go into Walmart and see. Yeah, see, here's the thing though. I didn't grow. When I was good at growing a garden back in the day, I didn't grow everything from seed. Not everything I grew was from seed. Um, well, I guess the majority of what I grew was from seed, with the exception of tomatoes. I always bought the plant itself. Yeah, the eye of the potatoes. Yes. But Brenda, trust me, growing here where I'm at is totally different from where I used to live at. The soil's different, and I guess I could give that a try. But it's maybe that could be my next channel. Growing a garden. Wonder how that would work out for me. Let's grow a garden. I'd have to pick a name for myself because I don't want to go by my name that you see in chat. I used to do canning too, Brenda. As a matter of fact, I used to, when my kids were little and we lived in my home state, and I was right with the world for the most part. For the most part. And I grew a garden. I did a lot of canning. I did do a lot of canning. I canned a lot of vegetables. I bought fruit and canned a lot of fruit as well. I wonder if there's a shortage of mason jars now. I don't have the room though to store anything because glass is dangerous here in the RV to begin with. Yeah, just I would probably YouTube it, Joshua. It's really not that hard. Some things that some things you can, and some things you put up in the freezer. Like, now I didn't really grow peas because peas were not one of the things that I was fond of. So I didn't, peas and carrots were two things I did not grow. I did grow corn, green beans, but they were the bush beans. They were not the vines. Bush beans, green beans. So I didn't have to tie the plants up. I grew tomatoes. I'm trying to remember because it's been so long ago. And now the green beans, I would like do what they call blanch them, and then I would freeze those. Those would go in a freezer. But see, living in an RV, I have no place to store them because I don't have a freezer big enough. I mean, I got a freezer, but it's just, big enough for our what we use during the month. I'd have to have I had back in that time frame, and we're talking back when my children were little, I had a big chest type freezer because I grew the garden, I'd freeze the green beans, and we would usually it was we would get half a pig, or no, we got whole pigs. We would get a whole pig, and we would take it in, and they would do what they had. The facility we took it to would do what they had to do to it, and then they would box it up for me, and I had to bring it home and wrap it and freeze it. And like sausage, I had to season it before I froze it. And the fat that you get back with it, put that in the oven, and you put it on a low temperature, and that renders the grease out of it, the oil out of it to make lard, which I know is bad for the arteries, but that's how it was back then. We're talking at least a good 30 some plus years ago. Now I like those um, frozen, the ones you put in the microwave, Joshua. I like those vegetables, but not the green beans. Yeah, that's what I would do. I would take the fat from the hog, put it in the oven on a very low temperature, and that's called rendering, and pour the grease into a something to hold it, a container. Oh yeah, it did a whole lot better than what they're putting out in the market. A whole lot better. Homemade butter tasted better too. Homemade butter tasted a whole lot better. But you know, trying to get back to the way it was when I had my kids is difficult. Yeah, that's pretty much what I did was I would put it in a can and use it for cooking. Yeah, farm fresh milk. Nothing better than fresh churned butter. And I don't mean the kind you buy in the supermarket. I know it says it's real butter, but it's still not the same. Oh, love a Scorpio, you have no idea what you're missing out on. If you could find a dairy somewhere where you could get some fresh cream and churn it yourself. I mean, it takes a while. It's hard work. But I'll tell you what, in the end, you can't go wrong with fresh made butter. Why does my conversations always turn into food? Uh-oh. I didn't do it. Thank God it landed face up.
Huh?
I said, thank God it landed face up.
Yeah.
Or the puppies would have been happy. Oh, yeah, you should have tried it. You should have tried it. Now, as far as fresh milk, I don't do any milk. The only milk I do, I say I don't do any milk, and then I say the only milk I do. I do drink some milk. It has to have a flavor in it. Chocolate. But as far as milk is concerned, I'm not a big milk drinker. That's not something I'm in. No. Yeah, that's true, Delia Fitz. Well, one thing I can say, my daddy taught me. I can hunt for my food and I know how to clean it. Just saying. If worst case scenario, I have to, I can do it. Hunt it and clean it. But I don't know how we get talking about food when we were talking about retrogrades. And that's a perfect example of how Mercury retrograde works. See, it just took my whole conversation off of talking about Mercury retrograde and swung it all the way over to talking about food. Yeah, so did I, Joshua. I did too. I grew up in a very rural area. We were lucky we had a post office. Oh, yeah. Now, one thing, you're right, do you, Fitz? Pressure cookers are dangerous. They are dangerous. However, you can take the toughest cut of meat there is and cook it in a pressure cooker, and it will come out so tender you can cut it with a fork. So there is a bonus, a plus side to a pressure cooker. It's just that they are dangerous. They really are. Yeah, that would. Oh, my grandmother used to cook with one of those pressure cookers. I remember them real well. I can imagine there's some fun videos with pressure cookers. That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me one bit. But I don't know how we got to the subject of food. But we always do. So, let's see. Yeah, what not to do with a pressure cooker. Absolutely correct. You have to be careful with them. God bless you. What not to do with a pressure cooker. You're very welcome, love of Scorpio. You're very welcome. Yeah, Joshua, I agree. And another thing that's dangerous that I think they've pretty much got done away with, and that is, now I'm getting off of the topic of food. If you know what a split rim is on a vehicle, those are dangerous as well. They used to use split rim tires on a lot of vehicles back in the day. And they've moved, it's called a split rim. There's a ring that goes around it to seal it. And if that ring pops off the wrong way, it can cause great damage. It's pretty much as bad as a pressure cooker lid flying off. It's called a split rim. You don't hear of them very often because I don't know if they're outlawed or if they just, and most tire shops won't even deal with them. They're so dangerous. I figured since we were talking astrology tonight, I would use this one since it's got all the planets here. And I do believe that is Saturn right there. That's my planet. Only one I could pick out because it has all those rings around it. Yeah, DU fits. Back in the day, they used to have them. They're called split rims. And they are very dangerous. So tomorrow, I'm not going to make a promise. It'll, number one, depend on how I feel. I may start a little earlier because I will be doing 12 readings. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing the astrology readings for each sign for the month of June. So I probably will not be watching chat as much. Just a little heads up, because when I'm doing the readings, oh God, I don't eat pinto beans anyhow, but oh my, that had to be a mess. Especially on the ceiling. So I would suggest for those that are interested in the astrology readings for June, if you haven't already done it, find out if you're interested, find out what your sun, moon, and rising signs are. And that way you can watch the readings for each one and get a more complete overall picture for the month of June. And of course, Saturday is our normal reading. Awesome. As a tarot reader, though, I find it a little difficult when I come to my own sign. That makes it a little difficult for me. And I do my best not to read myself into the cards, into the reading, because I know it's for everybody that is under, the sun sign Capricorn. So that makes it a little difficult for me. My sun sign is Capricorn. My moon is Virgo, and my rising sign is Leo. I don't know if I brought my book over. I don't know if it tells me what those all mean or not. Let me see. The ascendant sign. All right. Here we go. The ascendant. They call it the ascendant sign. I call it the rising sign. It's the same thing. My ascendant or my rising sign is Leo. But this is what it says about your ascendant sign. We experience day and night because the earth rotates on its axis once every 24 hours. Because of this rotation, the sun, moon, and planets seem to rise and set. The zodiac is a fixed belt, imaginary, but very real in spiritual terms around the earth. As the earth rotates, the different signs of the zodiac seem, to the observer, to rise on the horizon. During a 24-hour period, every sign of the zodiac will pass this horizon point at some time or another. The sign that is at the horizon point at any given time is called the ascendant or rising sign. The ascendant is a sign denoting a person's self-image, body, and self-concept, the personal ego, as opposed to the spiritual ego indicated by a person's sun sign. So there you have it. That's what the rising sign is. It's all about your self-image, your self-concept, your personal ego, as opposed to your spiritual ego. Do you Fitz? I will try to timestamp for you. I'll try to remember to timestamp. Let me write that down. All right, I wrote myself a note. I'll timestamp your reading. I will timestamp your reading. Do you Fitz? I hope you have a wonderful trip. Who's camera shy? I'm not camera shy. I've been on other panels with my camera open. The reason that I have my setup the way it is here is so that when I do readings, you see the cards. You're not looking at my face. Because I'm not reading my face. I'm reading the cards for you. And that's why I don't have my camera focused on myself, on my lives. But oh, oh, I get what you're saying. If you were all here in a group, if you were all here in a group, in person, in real life, yes, I would have difficulty speaking. Now I know what you're saying. Now I'm getting what you're saying. If you were all here in real life, yes, I would have a hard time speaking. And I don't know why I cannot explain it. I know when I was in college, one of the classes I was required to take was public speaking. And I had to make a speech in front of the class. And let me tell you, I thought for sure I was going to pass out. when I was standing there. Because it made me nervous. Aw, Brenda, 2-month members. Yay! Thank you, Brenda. Awesome. Thank you. Congratulations, Brenda. Thank you for supporting my channel. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, it's public speaking was the most difficult class that I took. And I've taken many classes, believe me. I didn't fear algebra. And I definitely did not fear calculus. But you put me in front of a room full of people and have to speak? That did not work out well. Well, I made it through the class without passing out, barely. Oh, yeah, I hated that too, Joshua. I almost passed out. Forget about freezing up. I almost passed out. That was probably the hardest class. That was harder. That class was harder for me than calculus was. Oh, I understand. So you're a Scorpio, love a Scorpio. I have one of my children is also a Scorpio. I was just nervous because, quite honestly, I'm in a room full of people and I've been in that situation. I'm the quiet person. Oh, wow. That's awesome, Joshua, that you were able to make it through it even though the teacher wasn't there. I have one child that's Virgo, one child's Pisces, one child is Scorpio, and the last child is an Aquarius. Yes, in that order. I know Lori was talking about possibly discussing the update on Lena. Oh, I can't remember her last name. Khil, I believe, and I'm not sure how it's pronounced. There is an update on her. If we can discuss that, but if you'd like to discuss other things, if there's any other subject you'd like to discuss, we can do that as well. Oh, Sagittarius. That's what Mr. Hart is. He is Sagittarius. Oh, yes, Brenda. Capricorn. Yes, we are Capricorns. So if anybody has any idea, let's see, tomorrow's going to be the astrology readings for the month of June. Saturday night or evening will be the normal tarot reading for astrology readings for the month of June. Yeah, I understand that, Joshua. I totally get it. Oh, you're Sagittarius rising. So if you all, because I see from what I'm seeing is all members in here. If you guys have, besides the little girl that went missing, oh, you have a Leo moon. You got 2 fire signs behind you. Oh. So you got a fire moon and you got a fire rising. And you're a water sign. Water and fire. So Sunday, if you guys have anything in particular beyond the update of the little girl that's missing in Texas, Lena, I believe is her name, shoot me a message, send me a message. You can either email me or text message. I don't care. Either way's fine. I like to let my members have a say in what we talk about during the members live. And then we'll go from there. We'll see. Maybe one of these days we'll start out on the topic of food and end up on something totally different. Yeah. If you're communicating with them or they're communicating with you and you don't know how to control that communication, yes, that's understandable. And no, you're not being disrespectful. I know others that have that. So we'll go ahead and end this by saying, remember, we're in this Pluto Mercury retrograde right now. So think before you speak. Be kind. And if you can't, the best thing to do is to say nothing. Because once you ring that bell, you cannot unring it. I don't tend to have problems with spirits. Mine come to me in my dreams, and my spirit guide comes to me when I do the readings. If somebody sends something to me, I have people watching me. They know and watch out for me. And I have my protection up. Just make sure you're protected, Joshua. Just make sure you know. Black obsidian, black tourmaline, black onyx. Those are the go-tos for protection. That's good. I wear black tourmaline and I wear black onyx as well. And when I'm here doing readings, I have black obsidian and black tourmaline with me. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. And as I said, let's all be kind to each other. And if you find yourself having difficulty with your words, the best thing to do is not to speak them. You're very welcome, Joshua. You're very welcome. I send much love and many blessings to all of my members and subscribers and viewers. As always, I'll see you back next time. Maybe a little bit earlier tomorrow. I hope each and every one of you have a wonderful evening. See you tomorrow.